What's happening, world? What's up with y'all, man? B Marsh Boxing, and I'm back at it once again with another boxing video, live and direct right here on the greens, enjoying this nice, beautiful weather. You see that breeze? See how the tree, the flag blowing? Nice breeze out here. Yeah, so here we are, man. Good fight we had this weekend. Michelle Ali Rivera versus Frank Martin. Very good fight. Gotta give it up to both combatants, both pugilists. They came, put their O on the line, and somebody's O had to go. Somebody had to lose their O. No shame in the Dominican kid Rivera's game, but we have a new player at 135. Absolutely, a new player at 135. A lit division, but what does it all mean? I was talking about this lit division since February of 2021. Here we are approaching 2023, December the 19th, 2022, approaching 2023. And we still waiting to see the biggest fights to be made at lightweight, Frank Kambosos talks about he had 10 options, blah, 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 rather than fighting for undisputed. Why would you even mention that unless you're pursuing greatness? That's what I don't understand. There was a big possibility that he was trying to duck the man Devin Haney, but the pressure mounted, and undisputed was the only way to go at that juncture. Big ups to Lou DiBella, his promoter, for making that fight happen as well. But let's talk about the new guy. What do we call Frank Martin? Is he a prospect still? Is he a contender? I wouldn't really rate him as a contender. I put him on the same level as a guy like Keyshawn Davis. Okay? But he definitely has a notch above Keyshawn Davis by beating an undefeated fighter with 24 wins. In the man 24-0 in the man Michelle Ali Rivera. I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie to you guys like I was super hype on Michelle Ali Rivera. When I seen Slim get put on the canvas one time by nobody, and he ended up stopping him, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up stopping him, putting him on the canvas and stopping that opponent. Yeah, I seen a lot of holes in his game. Case in point, this Saturday night, he ain't make no kind of adjustments with Frank Martin. Frank Martin was very deceptive with his defense, his footwork, keeping that right leg from the southpaw stance, keeping that joint on the outside, and just circling to his right all night, to avoid the man Ali Rivera's straight right hand. And that's all that guy brought to the table. His left hook was non-existent, but that's neither here nor there. The new kid in the division, Frank Martin, gotta give it up to him, And what's his name? Errol Spence 16th fight, 17th fight. He ain't fight the likes of Michelle Rivera, an undefeated dude he was in both guys actually in the top 10 in the Ring magazine rankings, right? Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera. Errol Spence hadn't fought nobody of that caliber at that juncture of his career. And he was an Olympian. So Frank Martin's a new kid on the block. Very good fighter. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for him. I was mostly impressed by his defense. He says, he was a little too patient and he possibly could have got the stoppage. But, the victory is good enough, I don't watch boxing for knockouts. I'm going to keep it tall with y'all. Because I've seen millions and millions of fights, great fights, without a knockout. A knockout is just like the cherry on the top. How many times you've watched a basketball game and there wasn't no vicious slam dunk that put you out your seat like, oh my gosh? Plenty of times, right? But you probably enjoyed the game. And to me, pugilism and skill set is what I'm all about, you know. It's a dangerous sport. You ain't just gonna put your hands up and start to duke it out with fellas, you know what I mean? So Frank Martin showed a lot of poise in there, a lot of poise, cool, calm, and collective. He didn't get the stoppage, but that's okay. He fought the best fighter in his career. That's how it goes. Just like unifications or fights for undisputed, the possibilities of knockouts are highly unlikely. I'm not going to say slim to none, but knockouts mostly come when it's fighters who maybe one fighter is better than the other, like in a big margin, you know what I mean? So, Frank Martin, now he's on the scene. He's called out guys like Tank Davis, Rolly Romero. You know, Tank Davis was a good call out just to put his name out there because he knows he ain't going to get no Frank Martin fight. I'm sorry, Gervonta Tank Davis fight this year. Possibly he could get one at, what you call it? Because Tank Davis said he wants to fight 3 times this year. Obviously, he's fighting Hector Garcia in Washington, D.C. on December 7th. After that, supposedly, allegedly, time will tell, we shall see. He's supposed to fight Ryan Garcia. That should be 2, you know what I mean? And that shouldn't happen no later than June, right? May, June. And then, before the year ends, hopefully Tank Davis keeps his word, try to get that fighter of the year, and fights for the 3rd time before 2023 ends. We shall see, time will tell. And hopefully that fight, if Frank Martin is lucky, will be him, a pay-per-view fight. You know, Rolly Romero got a pay-per-view fight versus Tank Davis because we already know what's really good with Slim. Dude was limited, man. Come on, y'all. That's why dude got that payday. It was an easy fight to make. Mayweather Promotions, in-house fight for both fighters, Tank Davis and the man, Rolly Romero. And Rolly Romero's booty butt cheek. Slim is whack. He's terrible. He's not a good boxer. I never seen him. Look, when he beat that Swedish kid, Yigit, that was his best W on his resume, But he runs his mouth. He talks a good game. And, really and truly, he's the one who really sold that fight. I said so. Frank Martin, I've seen discussions with him versus Keyshawn Davis even before the Michelle Rivera fight. That's a damn good fight, but let's be realistic, you know what I mean? That's a PBC top rank thing. The possibilities of that happening, highly unlikely. There's too many lightweights for the man Frank Martin to fight on his side of the street, you know what I mean? Then we got Shakur Stevenson. He been tweeting it up, talking about what he would do if he was in the ring versus Frank Martin. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad fight. You know why? Because Shakur Stevenson's not a natural lightweight. He hasn't even competed yet at the lightweight division. A lot of guys have been ducking him, according to the man, Shakur Stevenson, you know what I mean? He's struggling to find an opponent to make his debut at lightweight. Frank Martin will be splendid. Real talk, you know what I mean? That'd be a very good test for him. I'd favor Shakur, but if he beats him, I ain't going to be coming on this joint talking about, oh, no. I ain't going to be talking about none of that. That'd be a great W for Slim if he can get a Frank Martin on his resume. But what I expect, what I hope, Frank Martin gets some good names, more names under his belt. Don't take steps backwards. I'm not saying go full throttle and try to fight the greatest lightweights out there in his very next fight. But an undefeated fighter would be ideal, just like Michelle Rivera was. Let me move before these fellas crack my noggin with the golf ball. So, Frank Martin's a new player at the lightweight division. And he looked pretty impressive. skill set wise, Michelle Rivera just ain't have no head movement. And when he did get clipped, he started fighting more on the back foot. But he was not effective. He doesn't have an inside game neither, Michelle Rivera, and those type of things got exposed. But it's a boxing game. I'm not throwing Michelle Rivera to the curb. Nah, that's out. I'd like to see Michelle Rivera get more opportunities, you know what I mean? And I'm not writing him off. He could possibly become a world champion. We shall see. It's a boxing game. Anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett says, Anything is possible. And it's only right that both fighters, Frank Martin, Michelle Rivera, they get the fights they're looking for. Oh, sorry. I ain't trying to get cracked in my noggin. I don't want to get cracked in my noggin. Hey, them balls be coming up out of nowhere. So yeah, possibly be talking about B Marsh, be on this golf course, making this boxing video. Yeah, I'm making a boxing video. Why not? I got time, baby. Y'all want to see me play golf? How I'm gonna hold the camera and the golf club so you can see my swing? It's not possible. Very impossible. You check it. So when fellas doing their thing, I'm gonna do mine on the side and talk a little boxing while I'm out here enjoying the great outdoors. But Frank Martin, yeah. Like I said, it's crazy how in his 617th fight, he's been put through this kind of test by his promoter, Errol Spence. A fight that, obviously going into the fight, all parties involved are confident he's going to beat his opponent, whether it's Derek James, the trainer, whether it's Errol Spence, the promoter, and obviously Frank Martin, the fighter. Otherwise, they would never have taken this fight. But, nothing against Dominican fighters. The only Dominican fighter I've really rated really and truly like that, and he ended up being a disappointment because of his weight, was Juan Guzman. Juan Guzman. Dominicans, I'm going to pick the African-American style 10 times out of 10 versus the Dominican style. That's just what I'm going to do. You seen what happened with Banana, Jason Rosario versus Jamel Charlo, excuse me, for Undisputed. The body shot, Slim couldn't take the body shot. And I guess the exception was, what's his name? The exception was when Rosario gave J-Rock that work. And J-Rock, that's just a whole different video for a whole different day. Yeah, I mean, so big ups to Frank Martin. Can he beat the likes of Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Devin Haney? All these fighters. We shall see. Time will tell. But he's one of those names that we must mention, especially him being in the top 10. Ooh, that was a close one. Especially him being in the top 10 in the lightweight division. Hopefully we shall see him in some good fights, build his resume, and may the best be fight the best in the division, lightweight division. We've been waiting for that until this day. The best fights we've gotten in lightweight division have been Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez. Of course, Teofimo Lopez slept on. I don't even think he slept on him. Remember how many times Teofimo Lopez kept postponing that fight with Triller ETC? Yeah, I think he knew something. And his pops, they knew something. They can't mess with this Australian, Kambosos. And then, of course, Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. Devin Haney versus Kambosos. Those are the best fights we've gotten in the last 3 years. Definitely nothing that Tank Davis has done as far as the lightweight division has been impressive. We can't consider none of the fights to be anything impressive. You check it, so Kambosos, he did well. Hello. He did his thing. But at the end of the day, hey, Devin Haney came to his neck of the woods and gave him that work. Tank Davis' best fight I've probably seen him in the lightweight division is Pitbull Cruz, a late-minute replacement who was supposed to be easy work, and I had that fight a draw. So time will tell if we shall see the best fight the best at lightweight division, one of the most talented divisions in boxing. B-Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments, and I'm gone. Peace.